Alright, this is Jerry's video, and we were looking a little bit at that sliding pentatonic. I'm going to start with that, just to remind you, and I know you got the tab there, but and we want to let this second sound. We don't want to go slide real quick up. We want to go. So we also talked about, if you look at the top right, it says stretch always after the second octave. That's when we base it on the sixth string. But we're not going to worry about the fifth string stuff yet. So here's the tonic, second, sliding, the third, and then the fifth, sixth. There's the first octave right there. That's the first octave. Then we're going to go on, and that's when we have to raise that second string up one fret. Remember that? And so the stretch will always be after this second octave. So after that middle finger comes up on that second string, right? Second string, middle finger, and now we're going to stretch. Then we're going to slide, and then slide back down, stretch. So on the way up, it's stretch, slide. Way back down, it's slide, stretch. The opposite. And that's the only place where you have to use anything except your first and third fingers there. All right. And then we had the pinky box, that which is an A, and that is our pinky now is going to be on the A. And if we went all the way up, I don't think I have this on the, and that's not, I don't believe, on the tablature. I just have, which is a G run, using the pinky box on the sixth string. So don't worry about the fifth string pinky box yet. Again, we're going to work on stuff based on the sixth string first. Okay, get our fingers kind of going in this direction, and then we'll graduate to the fifth string, and those will be basically 2 patterns for pinky boxes, 2 patterns for sliding pentatonic, and we'll be well on our way to having some ABCs to build some words and then some musical phrases too, okay? And so if I went all the way up on this pinky box, the pinky again. So tonic, tonic, back down. All right, and that's the pinky box again. And then what you have on your tablature is, and you're going to have to bar that at the second fret. Now, right there. And we also, the third thing we did was we looked at some kind of rock riffs, like the Chuck Berry riff, okay? So we talked about doing it first in A. So let's go ahead and do an A, because since we're doing all this other stuff in A, we're going to take our index finger, and just as if we were using the pinky box on the 5th fret, and basing everything with our index finger at 3 frets below that, or the 2nd fret, and there we go. So we want to bar the 4th and the 3rd string as part of the A chord. There's a whole A chord. Here is the, and then that 2nd string will just kind of be muted, as will the 1st string. So the 2nd and 1st are kind of muted. And really all we want is, and we can go. We're going to take that 3rd finger. And again, see how my finger doesn't have to be perfectly up, straight like this and straight like that, because that hurts. So we're going to relax our fingers. We're going to take this index finger. It's going to be kind of pointed right up at our face, but we're going to bar the 4th and the 3rd. So same with the 3rd finger. Notice it's not straight up and down either. It's It's a more comfortable angle to keep this wrist straight, because we don't want this and we don't want this, okay? We want straight. And if we don't get that fourth string, it's not the end of the world, because the main part of the riff is the open string or the bottom drone string, and this fifth to sixth, the 5 to the 6, going back and forth. 5, 5, 6, 6, 5, 5, 6, 6, 5, 5, 6, 6, 5. And now we also talked about doing that on the E string. So instead of barring the 4th and 3rd, we're going to bar the 5th and 4th. And the E string now will be our drone when we play over an E chord. Now the 3rd finger is going to go, and the 5th string is going to go back and forth between that index and the 3rd finger. Again, you can angle if you want a little bit. It makes it a little easier. And then when it gets faster, you wanted to maybe think about doing some faster songs. So you could go do a Chuck Berry song. You know, there's a million things you could do. So just basically work on that. And also, you talked about going to the D. When we go to the D, we can't use a bar here because that B string's only a major third, only 4 frets higher than the G string. So that's why we always have to raise that pesky B string up a fret, and it looks like that. So D, the A note there, and the D note there, and we're going to go. Now we're going to drone on the D string. It's going to drone, and the string above it, which is the G string, at the 2nd and 4th fret. I'm going to drone, and also I guess this 2nd string is going to kind of drone too along with that. Those are both Ds. 1st string's muted. All right, that should be plenty to keep you busy.